Good morning, respected teachers. I, Shirish Tanmay from Standard 3 would like to present a poem titled Hall and Night by E.V. Rieu. When he was young, his cousins used to say of Mr. Knight that this boy will write an algebra or looks as if he might. And sure enough, when Mr. Knight had grown to be a man, he purchased pen and paper and began. But he very soon discovered that he couldn't write at all, and his heart was filled with yearnings for only Mr. Hall. After many years of doubt, he sent Mr. Hall a card. Have tried to write an algebra but find it very hard. Now Mr. Hall himself had tried to write a book for schools but suffered from a handicap. He didn't know the rules. So when he heard from Mr. Knight and understood his gist, he answered him by telegram, delighted to assist. Mr. Hall and Mr. Knight, they took a house together and they worked away at algebra in any kind of weather, determined not to give up until they had evolved a problem so constructed that it never could be solved. How hard it is, said Mr. Knight, to hide the fact from youth that x and y are equal. It is such an obvious truth. It is, said Mr. Hall, but if you give a b to each, we had put the problem well beyond our little victim's reach. Or are you anxious, Mr. Knight, lest any boy should see the utter superfluity of this repeated b? I scarcely feared it, he replied and scratched his head. But perhaps it would be safer if b is added to z. A brilliant stroke, said Hall, and added z to the either side. Then looked at his accomplice with a flush of happy pride. And Knight, he winked at Hall, and they printed off the algebra